Hello and welcome to That British Homestead. Today, well, I thought I'd take you on a tour of the allotment, so let's get started. So this is the time where like everything's changing all the time, and I think it's a really exciting time down the allotment because this is where like we're actually getting a harvest, etc. I'll be doing an absolute ton of weeding, so I hope you notice. This is the second allotment. I never start here, so I thought I'd give it a go and start where we don't normally start. So you can see this rose twig, yeah, it probably sums it up nicely. This rose bush, I actually grew it from twig, and this is the first year there's actually underneath all of these lovely green fly, there's an actual rose bud. This is very exciting stuff. I'm going to bring you closer. The rabbits love this, so we try it. That's why it's got a cover on it, because the rabbits, I grow the nicest rabbit food here. Do you see the little rosebud on it? Oh, it's so cute. This just there is a golden something plant. I can never remember. It starts with M. It's a herb. I've just harvested it. There's an issue trying to record, so bear with me. Alright, so this is a herb beginning with M. It's golden something. It's actually meant to look like this with the golden pattern on it. I've just harvested a load of it. I want to keep like a jar of dried herbs for the winter at all times, because I really enjoy using herbs in my cooking. Here, this is a, I can't remember, I think it is a chives plant. No, it's not chives. What is it? Garlic chives. You really taste the garlic. It tastes a lot like garlic scapes. I love garlic scapes. This is, I went to my friend's house yesterday and they had a grapevine, and their grapevine was like the size of this fence. It was beautiful, and I was like, oh, I have a grape twig. So this is my grape twig. I grew it from, I've literally not seen this before. I don't want to boast, but I'm amazing. Look. My grape twig has grapes on it. Do you see the grapes? Oh my days, that is a whole bouquet of grapes. Oh, I love my grape twig. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. Do you reckon I could take a cutting of this year and have 2 grape twigs? What do you think? Oh, I hope so. It's very exciting. I didn't see that, and I was down here like all yesterday. That's why everything looks wet. I watered really well. Rosemary, some more of that golden whatever it is. I don't know why it's there, but it is. I think this is beautiful. This is sage, and the sage flowers, they don't really have a smell, but they're so pretty, and it's always covered in insects. This one is thyme. It's also flowering. I really like the flowers of herbs, like probably like as much as actual flowers. It's interesting. This particular bed here, you've got all of the winter squashes. That's the one I'm looking for. They're starting to flower. This one is particularly a beautiful flower. You can actually eat the flowers. We don't, because I like the pollinators to have something to do. And the more you look after your pollinators, the more they'll come. As you know. Do you know what? I know it sounds ridiculous. I was here yesterday and everything's so different. This is a garlic bed, obviously. And scapes that weren't here yesterday, which is just madness. Shows what good watering does. And you just take them off like this. They're really delicious, actually. So I'm just walking along, and it's just, I go down to the bottom, and wherever it snaps a little bit like asparagus, that's how I harvest them. Too woody, and then snap, comes off. I think that's all of the scapes that I'm going to see. When they're small, I let them grow a little bit until they do that one turn, and then they're nice and tender. So that's a lovely little surprise harvest. I'm also going to take one of these lettuces down this side. The lettuces are doing amazing. So these are doing really well as well. On the wood chips doing less amazing, but this one here is doing really well. I'm going to show you all of the little flower buds on this bad boy. So as you can see, it's absolutely covered in male flowers. I get males first and then females, so it's okay. Some people have females first and then males. I believe if you want to get more females, you fertilise them. If you want to get less females, because there's no point of getting loads and loads of females and no males, you reduce the fertiliser. I always seem to get all males, and then the next lot is going to be female, so I'm not really bothered, because you need males to actually get fertilized plants. If you're getting something called blossom end rot, is when the end of your cucumber or squash starts to rot. It's because you don't have any males come out. So reduce the fertilizer that you're putting on, and then you'll get lots of males as well as females. You need both. Okay, so this one is a male, as you can see, and it just looks beautiful. I'm not really that bothered. I don't mind them taking their time. Got lots of aphids on it though. I've never even seen aphids like that. Well, I try to grow things more naturally, so like I don't mind there being females, and then there'll be males. Like these plants are really tiny, I want them to concentrate on having really deep roots. We're in a drought, I'm not minding them just putting on male flowers at this point in time. I see some with female flowers. The way you can tell is a male flower will have a very long skinny stem behind it, okay, and a female flower will have like a bump behind it, depending on the squash what it looked like. If it's a patty pan, it looks like a little spaceship. If it is a round zucchini, it's going to be round. Do you see what I mean? I'll show you. Well, so this flower, as you can see, is a female. This one here, can you see it? Yes, you can. This one here, just take that bit off. This one is a fertilized female. Okay, so that's going to grow much bigger. This is where all the seeds are found, and you can see behind this one there's nothing. So this is a male flower. So this one's fertilizer. I didn't even see before I came down here. Now this is I think it's a patty pan anyway. You can see that it has lots of male flowers yet to get open. See if we can see a female. I don't think there is any females yet, but the first few ones will tend to be male. You need male and female, like I said, so it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. Look at my escapes. I'm going to go ahead and put them somewhere so I don't forget them, but don't have to carry them around. I want to see if I can see an unopened. There's all males. Like I said, it's very early in the year for females. Yep, this is another male one, but it is very pretty, isn't it? It's a little caterpillar, squish him. And then that's what they look like. When they're finished, they kind of dry up, and then they do this and they just fall off. So that is fine as well. At this point in time, it's only early June. Do not worry if you're not getting very much. Look at them lettuces. We're eating a lot of lettuce and sandwiches, etc. Lovely stuff. I love a nice homegrown organic lettuce and sucker for it. This bed is Jerusalem artichokes. Jerusalem artichokes are lovely. My nan used to grow them all the time. I keep telling you this story, but Jerusalem artichokes, I'm pretty sure they're like the tardigrade of plants. If you're having problems growing plants, Jerusalem artichokes are your friend. Tell you why. Jerusalem artichokes, they'd grow on the moon, okay, easily. My nan grew these in, I'm sure, just pebbles between a fence that was 6 foot and a shed, and they grew beautifully every year. They have really beautiful flowers on them, like sunflowers. They kind of look like sunflower plants, not quite, they're a different colour, but lots of people confuse them with sunflowers. The way you can tell is that they have many stems coming from one central point, and their leaves are slightly different colour, but they do feel like a sunflowery feel. Their flowers are about this big. When they go up to about 6 foot, they do flower. You can crop them to 5 foot if you're in a windy situation. This time of year, I don't have to worry about that because the wind's okay, but if the wind does pick up, I do go ahead and chop them down. They do spread prolifically. These are an annual, and they store really well in the ground. You don't want to harvest them until you need them, but they grow really well in the ground. They're very sweet. They're like a cross between a parsnip and, I guess, a potato, but only because of the shape, nothing other. It's more parsnip, like a very soft parsnip. It's very, very nice roasted. You can make them into a soup, but it does discolour, so you have to put a bit of lemon juice in them. They're lovely. This is something that I grow to indulge my sort of childhood flavours. I really love them. They're very abundant though. Think of these as a perennial bed. Perennial bed. They are annual, but trust me, they're perennial. You will never have to resow them. Don't bother resowing them. They will grow. This, I think I resowed like 2 over there. That was it. The rest are just what I forgot. Well, I didn't forget to harvest. I went through there with a fine tooth comb. It's just you'll never get the last one. Now this bed, I'm actually quite proud of this bed, guys. This is my rhubarb. We eat a lot of rhubarb. I like rhubarb on my porridge in the morning, but look at these. I staked them. This is the first time I've staked them. They look, oh, don't they look beautiful? I'm so happy with them. These are peonies. They are beautiful. They're wonderful. I've got a light colour here. These were here when I came. I'm going to split peonies this year, I'm hoping. I'm not sure if you can do it. I haven't looked into it too much. If you know more about splitting peonies, please go ahead and let me know down below, because I'm not an expert on flowers. I've just started growing flowers. I love flowers. I never did, but as I'm getting older, I'm loving flowers a lot more. So if you know anything about splitting peonies, please let me know, because I'd love to do it successfully. I'd like to, this one seems to have 3 branches coming out. I'd like to split them in 3 and spread them out a little bit. I'd like to give one to one of my friends as well, because she came over the other day with her small child who watered for me and was like, oh my God, I love your peonies. Oh, hello, Mr. B. And I'd love to be able to give some to her and have some spread around, especially this dark pink variety, because it's so pretty. Okay, so this bed here is a potato bed. I do have to be careful because I have a lot of docks in this bed, and the docks are an issue, and so is, oh, I almost fell face first. So is bindweed. Bindweed's an issue in this bed. Docks and bindweed down the whole end. You can see there's docks just over here is an issue. Now they're starting to flower. I can actually see the difference between them. These ones here, once again, got the scald marks. I think that's from the sun. We talked about that last time, didn't we? And you guys, just want to say thank you for all the responses about my scald marks. I was super panicking that it was blight, and you guys are like, how do you think it's blight, Nick? It is literally a drought, so thank you for that. I was panicking hard about that, but you are amazing, you help so much. So they're the scald marks. I really like potato flowers. As you can see, the potato flowers, these are salad blue variety, and they produce these beautiful blue flowers, and they've got stems that have got like touches of darkness on them, and they're really beautiful, really amazing in my personal opinion. I actually really like potato flowers. As I'm getting older, I do notice that I'm liking the flowers a lot more than when I was younger. When I was younger, I was like, potato flowers, what a waste. Potato flowers, they might slightly reduce my size of potato, get rid of them. But now I'm like, no, they're beautiful. They actually make me want to come into the garden, which is as important as being productive. I'm going to put that on the floor, and you'll be able to see it in a future episode, because I won't remember to pick it back up. Joking, semi-joking. This bed here is my sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes. So bindweed is obviously an issue here. I do cover them on the basis that, I don't know, I worried about them and then I couldn't sleep, so I covered them. They are looking really good. Some of them have actually been scalded by the sun. So these sweet potatoes have honestly come from, I'm going to probably grow them myself this year. I don't know how to, I was just being lazy. So when I haven't grown something before, it's like I want to become acquainted with it, I want to learn about it, I want to be friends with it. So I kind of go ahead and I kind of buy the slips or the seeds or the starts or whatever, and then once I kind of know it a little bit better, I'm happy to grow it from seed. These obviously don't grow from seeds, but they grow from sweet potatoes. So the idea is to grow massive amount of sweet potatoes this year, like basically to have, what is it, 10 plants, but basically be a sweet potato farmer, and hopefully, just like Oakley's telling you, hopefully have lots and lots of sweet potatoes. And then with these sweet potatoes, I shall take over the world. Do you remember that? Thinking in the brain. No, with these sweet potatoes, I'm going to be growing slips and then root them myself around about January next year, if, you know, the world works out and I'm able to store them, they're not like taken by mice or whatever. So that's the idea behind that. So next year I'll have my own variety, see which one grows best, etc. That's kind of what I do here. I'm going to probably do that with potatoes. You know, I've been really nervous about saving potatoes, because I was like, oh my goodness, what if I save a potato and it goes wrong? But my friends did it this year and they have beautiful potatoes, so I don't know what I was so worried about. I think that it kind of gets into our heads that we can't save our own seeds of like potatoes and stuff because of diseases, but you can do anything you want. It's your allotment. So I'm going to do that next year so that I have more varieties that I love, and I'm going to keep the ones that do the best, get the biggest potatoes. I've been doing it with my garlic for years, right? Years and years and years. I've been saving all of the garlic you see here and at home and at the allotment, in my front garden, my back garden, is all that I've been saving for how long now? 6, 7, 8 years. So they're annoyed because I haven't given them their seed yet. Not they have food, they always have unlimited food. I give them like little snackies, so I give them like leftovers or a little bit of like scratch corn to like stimulate their little brains, but Oakley wants you to know that I'm late doing that and it's not acceptable. But yeah, I was thinking about doing that more and more and more. I found that I don't want to like feed into this like conspiracy theory about seeds, but I found this year my germination rate has dropped dramatically, and I think that's because I'm very lazy and I keep the same seeds and I keep reusing the same seed packets, and I think that that's not so good. What I should be doing is saving fresh seed every year and having so many seed packets that my partner will probably move out, but that'll be fine because in his wardrobe will be more space for seeds, which is obviously better. I'm only joking, he does watch this, and I'm only joking, semi-joking. Maybe we'll talk about how many t-shirts you're allowed to have in the house. It is a peach tree. The peach tree has leaf curl on it. So you can see that that is peach curl. No, it's not, it's leaf curl. This is a fungal disease. It's actually not curable, which is madness, because as an organic grower myself, I always think, I put chemical on anything and it solves the problem, and I kind of look at my plot neighbours and think to myself, oh, you don't know how difficult I have it. But this is actually incurable, doesn't matter what you have. If you have organic or inorganic, it's actually incurable, and what you have to do is pick off the leaves. I've done most of it. These are new leaves that are affected, and you have to go ahead and burn them. And then next year what you have to do is between October and March, because October does come first, you have to cover it. So I was actually thinking about putting a polytunnel up. I've got permission for a polytunnel now, which is super exciting. I was going to put it up on that side of the allotment, but I might say to them, look, I've got a weird peach tree, can I have it on this side, and grow it over my peach tree. I've seen lots of people do that. It works quite well. So that's like the idea behind that, which is an exciting one. That's like what I'm probably going to be doing. I'm going to go through and cut all of these off probably one morning, maybe I was going to say tomorrow morning, but I really need to harvest my broad beans, so maybe not tomorrow morning, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not telling you this stuff, but you can't really hold me accountable because I'll lie. No, I'm joking, I will just not do it. Whoa. Here is a lot of mousy holes. So down there, if you can see properly, and let me walk around and see if you can. This is bindweed, because there's loads of bindweed, but these ones here are beans. You can see the beans. Oh, can you see anything other than tree? You can't. But trust me, amazing things are happening over here. Wow, it's amazing. Like, share and subscribe. No, do you know what's always a good idea? It's always good to not delete things off of a memory stick, and then I only bring one memory stick to the allotment with a camera, because then you have to keep deleting things and sacrificing your memories and stuff whilst recording. It's great. So here we've got beans. There's no dig bed. I do need to come through and pull the weeds here. There's a lot of bindweed. It is on what's it called? It is on cardboard, but they do kind of like grow through sometimes, so it is one of those things. I also have to clear the stinging nettles, which I'm putting off because I hate it. So the further away I get from them chickens, the less loud they will be, I promise. We've got potatoes. As you can see, there's some that don't come up, but every so often there's more coming up through this bed. So I'm sure that they are coming. They're just loading. Potatoes at the back have done them best. They have these beautiful flowers on them again. These are salad blue potato varieties. Some of them are smaller varieties, some of them are white, etc. I think the white potatoes haven't come up. So it's interesting. I've pretty much never planted potatoes and not had them come up, which is very strange. I water it, it has loads of water. I'm not sure why, but that chicken is not happy. Okay, so this bed is an interesting one. This bed is an interesting one. This is my cabbage bed, and you've got conical shaped ones. I believe that they are called April or Durham. This is a cabbage. Can't remember what it is. This one here, that is a kale. You've got a random garlic that I did not plant, and you've got some more cabbages in there. Now, it's really nice to have cabbage because they make fantastic. Do you mind? You don't, do you? She doesn't mind. She's telling me. I don't mind. I'll make as much noise as I want. So here, underneath the netting, is my cucumbers. They are starting to flower. It's very exciting. I'm covering them because I had so much pest damage last year. I'm not going to repeat that. I've weeded it nicely. Once again, the weeds that we have to worry about are docks and bindweed. Literally, this plot has been so difficult to do because of the docks and the bindweed and the stinging nettles. Next door, what are they? You have. So these are classic docks and they're grated docks. I prefer grated docks because they're softer. I don't know, they're less woody stems. They're much easier to deal with. I have a small bound, a bindweed. What else do I have over there? Like nothing weed-wise compared to this. This is like weed heaven. But it has not been cultivated for years and years and years. It was, most people refuse to have this plot because you literally, weeds up to here, like perennial weeds up to here. It was ridiculous. Here I'll show you a little sneak peek. I'm really proud of this cucumber bed. Not that you can hear me over the chicken, but you can see, what can you see? It's under. Okay, so this bed here, you have lettuce along the side. It's very dark lettuce, you probably don't see it very well, but I've also got some kohlrabi that is actually getting like a nice bulb on it. These ones are all kohlrabi here. Got some more lettuce there. This keeps flapping down, so I put the black plastic over here because this was weeds. It looked terrible. So I'm just gonna go ahead. There is a Russian kale, I believe that one's called. Growing any form of garden, it's really important that you make sure that you have enough space for things to grow, because things look really tiny when you have them. They're like little tiny little plants, and then they're actually huge. If you look at my squash patch, everyone tells me you leave too much room between your plants. It's going to have, like, you're not even getting very much crop out of there. You're wasting all that space. But as you go through the season, I'll show you, and I'll be like, can't even walk there. These are my strawberry plants. They are very, very nice. You can see the chickens can see me again. They're looking really good. I've cut some of them all the way back because they are still alive, but you can see that they are just stressing out with all of these leaves. So I've gone through and pulled the leaves off, and they've got the new ones coming through. They're great. I've had a few strawberries already. Same here. The new leaves are growing through strong, but there's no point of having all that dead material attracting slugs. I love these. These are like one of my favourite flowers. Never grown these before. They're called nasturtiums. They're great. You probably know better than me. I'm going to save some seeds from them because they're beautiful. This year they're really strong plants. Got these beautiful strawberries. Look at them. Look at them. They're looking really good. I prefer growing them like this than on the floor by a landslide, so they're looking really fab. The nasturtiums here, they look very sorry for themselves, but like I said, I want to save the seeds. I think they prefer growing on the top side than they do on the side, but that's the way that they've lived. Saying that one doesn't look very good. So thanks so much for watching me ramble on and walk around my allotment. I'm sorry about the camera not working every 5 seconds. I'm not 100% sure why, but it's very exciting. This bed, I forgot to tell you, this bed is only a few days away from a mega harvest, and then I'm probably going to go ahead and put carrots there, which I know what you're thinking. Wow, Nick, that is extremely exciting. I've never heard anything so exciting in my life. life. The reason why I'm going to do carrots is because, as you can see, this is a no dig bed, and carrots don't grow well in the black plastic. They just don't grow, so it's really important to have them. They don't really grow very well in the wood chip either. I've got all my so I have all the carrots in this bed, which is very exciting. I'm going to sprinkle it with a powder that just smells bad to rabbits, because I still have an issue with the rabbits. And I was talking to my partner, I brought him over, and I was like, your job today, listen to your mission. Your mission is to find where the rabbits are coming in. And he was like, in the holes that you can see, Nick. I was like, yeah, well done. You've passed your mission. So what he said to me was this, Nick, they're flapping all over the place in the wind. Of course the rabbit's going to get in. An elephant could walk through them holes. He said it nicely though, bless him. And I was like, fair, what can we do? What can you do about it? And he was like, what I can do about it is I can put a couple of bolts in and then you won't have an issue. I was like, make sure you do then. He promised me he will. He also said, Nick, there's absolutely massive holes in your fence on the other side, and the netting that you've put in isn't fit for purpose because the rabbits are walking through sideways. They're so big, the netting you've used. I was like, oh, what can we do about that? He was like, use more netting. I was like, yeah, but it's not the best, that thing over there. And he was like, in the winter, we, being him, will replace the fence, which is exciting. That scared there's a chicken, where is it, in the fence, and it actually scared me. I was like, oh my god, there's a huge animal there. So yeah, that's the plan for rabbits. Look at that, twist it and it comes off. That's the plan when it comes to rabbits. Just slowly feed them so much food that they have, like, you know, an illness. The idea is to slowly, do you know, I was like, oh, I'll put these down so I remember, oh, they're over there, so that they slowly get indigestion and then think, you know what, there's just too much food on that plot. So I'm going to slowly redo the fencing and hope that works. I'm going to dig it down as well. So I'm just sick of the rabbits. It's disheartening when you spend so much time doing something and then you lose a load of crops to rabbits. It's a little bit disheartening. But hey ho, we've got a solution. That's the main thing. So thanks so much for watching, and you see my little mini harvest, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Ba 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 ba. Here, do you remember when I dropped you in the ground from here? I do. So scroll down. So see, I don't know why you're so wonky donkey. There we go.